like MMS game, like squad, yeah, scary big, yeah. I was really tough last time. Let me get the light on, cause y'all can't really see me. I was really tough last time. I was a big boy about it. I wasn't scared of nothing.
Stop the cap.
Yes. Let's get on. Turn that on.
I'll be the first to admit, the deep web always scared me.
Facts. Scare me too.
I expected some illegal set of websites for drugs, weapons, and human trafficking. In reality, it's little more than a bunch of obscure forums sprinkled with the occasional leaked email password. Every now and then, you might be lucky enough to find a gold nugget in the stream of useless shit. If you're anything like me, you might even enjoy the futile search. The one time I actually stumbled across something worthwhile, it scarred me for life. It was a page called Mortex, a forum with thousands of active users, all seeming to search for specific people. Looking for Jack Glover, 1956 to 2003, passed from pancreatic cancer, the top thread said. It was an odd task, searching for someone that had died so long ago. I presumed they were distant relatives looking for a gravestone. But once I browsed through the comments, it piqued my curiosity. It was odd searching for someone that had died so long ago. I figured they were trying to find a lost family member's grave or something. Another thread read, "Oh my God, Hannah, I can't believe you found me." At that moment, I figured it was some sort of roleplay forum. Each thread followed the same formula, someone seeking to speak with lost loved ones. Despite my instinct saying it was all make-believe, I decided to post my own search. Looking for Clark Henderson, 1969 to 2010, passed from cardiac arrest. That was the name of my dad. He was the one person I'd give anything to see again after he unexpectedly died from a heart attack.
See, what y'all gotta understand is that don't do this on the dark web, Like other man wanted to get money on the dark web. That's a first strike. And then you can't go use the restroom, you can't go boo-boo. Second, now you want to bring your dead father back. He's dead. Don't bring him back. It's always bad repercussions. It's always a zombie, chomp, or it's just something that's going to go wrong. Every kid's movie, or horror movie, or any movie.
To my surprise, I only had to wait a couple of minutes before someone left a comment. "Henry?" It said, along with a voice chat invitation. My hands shook so much that I could barely navigate the menu. Before long, I was connected, and an all-too-familiar voice called my name. "Henry, it's really you, isn't it?" It was bullshit. It had to be.
Yeah.
Yet the voice I heard clearly belonged to my dead father. "Dad, how is this?" I stopped, dead in my tracks. "I love you so much, Henry, and I'm sorry for leaving you. I should have gotten my heart checked, but I just didn't know. I felt fine up till the moment I died. It's not your fault, but how do I know this is real? How do I know it's really you? When you were 3, you attempted to make dinner. You didn't know about the concept of pots and pans, so you just threw the vegetables directly on the stove."
Man,
He chuckled, cutting the story short. "Right, just as I'd forgotten about that," I said. "You almost burned the house down," he continued. "I've tried to tell people this story before, but you made me swear an oath of secrecy." I felt myself tearing up just by the sound of his voice. Unfortunately, curiosity overwhelmed my sense of nostalgia. I had so many questions, I don't even know where to begin, I said as 1,000 thoughts ran through my mind. Then it hit me. The situation didn't just entail my personal quarrels with life. No, it was so much bigger. I could ask any question about what came after death. After much contemplation, I finally landed on a simple, yet horrifying question. Dad, where are you? I asked. Henry, please, don't. He trailed off.
Don't
What?
do it. Don't
I
do
replied.
it, Henry. Don't do it.
They don't like it when you ask. I can't, though. He froze. I should have stopped then and there, but I couldn't. I just need to know what comes after, please, I said. My dad paused.
Y'all see that?
Henry,
Henry, y'all see that?
I'm sorry. Sorry about what? I asked. Heaven, hell, it's not real. This place, whatever it is, it's not what I thought. We're just spare parts waiting to be. Our voice channel cut out, and my dad's voice vanished. I tried to call him back. I tried to message. I even attempted to make a new thread, but he was just gone. Before I spoke to him, I was never afraid of death. Now that I've heard the fear in the voice of my dead father, I'm terrified.
Wait! Anyway, like I was saying...
When people want...
That was supposed to be a horror story animated. You know what, y'all? I'm about to get something scary. You don't deserve it. I'm about to do something else that's better.
So I'm here to post about a dream that I've been having as of lately. I've been having the same dream, and the story is very simple. I am on my laptop at my desk, and my older sister is writing in her diary.
Oh, go back.
Desk, and my older
Sorry.
In her bed, and an extremely tall guy keeps trying to enter our room. He was literally so big that his chest touched the threshold, and I couldn't see his upper shoulder at all. My sister and I knew that he wouldn't be able to come in anyway, so we didn't care about anything and did our own things. He bumped his body trying to come in, then finally gave up a while later and went back. And at that moment, I woke up. But recently, he keeps cutting his body little by little. By the third day, he hadn't been able to come in, but the day before yesterday, he was in front of the door, standing with his ankles. He cut off his foot.
Whoa.
Of course, he cut...
Listen, my G. There's no rap that good that you need to cut off your ankles, bro. There's a bunch of other women in this world. You're a muscular man. Girls like that, bro. You got a big brain. Come on. I'm not doing that for no girls. It's always in love.
Didn't come in either, and just yesterday, he cut off half of his calf. Didn't come in either, and just yesterday, he cut off half of his calves. His shoulder was seen for the first time, but he has also kept bumping against the door. And this time was no different. What happens to me next if he cuts himself all the way to his knees?
He's a dumb.
Second, it's me again, and I came back to post my recent experience. 2 days later, my worries became a reality. I had a dream again that day, and this time he really cut himself to his knees. I'm not going to explain all the details, but all I could see was his abnormally big mouth, and he was smiling brightly. Then I woke up. I was too scared to go back to sleep after just seeing his face. After that, I gave up on sleeping for a couple of days. I drank all night with my friends, went to a handicraft workshop run by my mom. I was playing on my cell phone for a while, and napped for a while, lying down on my mom's lap when I felt too tired. Then I fell asleep, shallowly, on the sofa, and a man was there in my dream as usual. Fortunately, I was able to wake up right away because I didn't sleep deeply. However, being scared, I called my aunt who was interested in spiritual existence at that time. When I confessed that I was having a hard time because of this, She told me that she knew a shaman and asked me to go there with her. No one believed such a thing because my family were all sincere Christians. My aunt was also a Christian, but she took me to the shaman saying that the method would be much better than just praying. Well, I guess these poor little lambs must have been desperate. That day, when I went to see the shaman, she said this to us just as I went inside. When my aunt asked what I should do next, the shaman said, "I'll give you an amulet. Put it on your door. Because we don't know if he was just joking around or doing it for a reason, we have to give it a few more days." Then she continued, "After I came back home with the amulet, I put it on my door without my parents knowing. I fell asleep in my room comfortably for the first time, and there was the man in my dream as I expected. But this time he wasn't standing, just sitting by the door and staring at me. I was inwardly admiring the effect of the amulets when I saw him like that. Just then, he began to imitate my dad's voice. 'Lord, please take care of my family and look after my lovely daughters as if they were your eyes.' He said a prayer like that almost every day, and while laughing, the man just recited the exact same prayer with my dad. Tears flooded with fear, and whether he thought that it was funny to see me crying, he began to mimic the barking of my dog this time. It was just surprisingly the same. He would scratch the door and whine when I closed my door to study, and the man made the same sound, scratching his fingernails on the door. The next was the voice of my friend. The moment I heard his voice, I was so scared and creeped out. Eventually, I could wake up shortly afterwards while I was crying in my dream. I called my aunt right away, and we went back to the shaman again. And I think we have to raise our prayer to God and do some exorcism sooner or later. I have been awake since that day. Of course, I've been eating my meals normally, but I kept losing weight because of a lack of sleep. I was going crazy. I'm still terrified even when posting this right now. If anyone has experienced the same thing as me, please help me out.
My name is Mark, and this happened when I was 13 years old. It was a normal day in the morning, as usual. I was heading to school with some of my friends. We were just talking about several topics, such as school life or about the girls, you know. Then all of a sudden, I heard someone whispering. "Guys, did you hear that?" I asked, and one of my friends said, "Yeah, what the heck?"
I'm gonna leave you on now in animation side. We're about to go look at some realistic stuff. That's what it's spooky. MMS. My bad. I dropped my camera. MMS. We are some retarded people, my snipers. That's our group name now. We're the snipers. We are some crazy people because you're about to watch something like I was really about to like. There's butterflies in my stomach because you know I'm a very brave person. So we're gonna watch only brave people can watch. I'm sorry. Why that make?
If you think you can brave these 15 videos, then you're braver than most. Our first entry has been getting big attention in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. It's a video of two people performing an exorcism on a girl who clearly looks unwell. There's 2 eggs on this plate. The priestess cracks one egg, and it appears perfectly normal. But after rubbing the other egg on the possessed girl's skin, it cracks open to a pure black sludge, which is an extremely creepy sign. But things get even more bizarre as the girl sits up with very dilated eyes and drinks the sludge, which causes her to shake and twitch. And the full video cannot be found on YouTube because it gets even more disturbing. I think only seeing this part of the ordeal is enough to terrify anyone who isn't brave. Number 14. Hand on shoulder. You never know when you'll face passing on. So what happens when it's not yet time for you to go? A shopkeeper in a den of Turkey escaped after a man passing by touched his shoulder. and warned him to look behind him, alerting the oblivious man to the fact that the cover of a passing truck's back end was open. The metal piece flung toward him, but he managed to move out of the way to avoid getting hurt, or much worse. It's unclear from the footage how the passing man even knows to warn him. He hadn't even turned around to look at the approaching truck before reaching out to the shopkeeper. Guardian Angel, your guess is as good as mine. Number 13, Poltergeist. We've all been there. It's a stormy night. Every sound in the house is an evil entity vying for your soul. That must have been what this man was feeling when he saw this happen in his dining room on a stormy night. The clip shows a man enter his dining room, which appears completely normal. Every chair in place. He enters his laundry room, then casts the camera down the stairs.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Then to cause him to search his house. He says hello down the stairs. Is someone or something there? He decides to go into his basement to investigate. The wooden steps are incredibly rickety. As he's nearing the bottom, a terrifying racket is heard upstairs. He runs for his life, only to find his kitchen chairs precariously stacked up, balanced one on top of the other. The dining room light is swinging around. The shot is still, as the man crosses the room and stands frozen in fear at this ominous sight. The overhead light continues to swing, and nothing is there. There's something especially uneasy about the stacking of this man's furniture. Part of that uneasiness comes from the fact that no human could have done this particular building job in the short period of time that the man was away. Who do you think did it? Or what? Number 12. The Swarm. If insects aren't your thing, then this entry will highly test your bravery. This footage is of an insect swarm at the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. The uploader writes, during our family holiday in 1996 or 7, we had parked the car and gone for a short walk up the cliffs. When we came back, we found that our car had become a hot spot for these giant wood lice.